So pervasive is Adelaide's bloody reputation, we here at Curious Adelaide predicted we would be asked whether Adelaide is indeed the murder capital of the nation. Little did we expect it would be our very first question, or one of the most asked. But let's get one thing straight from the start: Adelaide is not the murder capital of Australia, nor the world, and it never has been. So why does the city of churches foster the notion that not only does it have more murders, but the killings are particularly twisted? Across Australia, the murder rate has been declining for decades. According to the Australian Institute of Criminology's most recent figures, the country's homicides are at an all-time low. The national rate is 1 murder victim per 100,000 people. The Northern Territory holds the dubious record for the highest per capita murder rate, at about 6 victims per 100,000. Per capita, South Australia's murder rate is lower than average, at less than 1 person, 0.9, per 100,000. There was one statistic from a 2008 Australia Bureau of Statistics report which garnered attention. It showed South Australia had 15% of the nation's convicted killers, but only 8% of the population. Fun facts like this have ensured Adelaide's macabre image has seeped into popular culture, including in an ad for the gruesome US crime show Dexter. Adelaide has more serial killers per capita than any other city in Australia, the protagonist tells a fellow airline passenger. But a little digging reveals a broader truth. Focusing on the brutality or unusualness actually obscures what really kills South Australians: domestic violence. Domestic violence is much more of a threat than a serial killer. The Institute's figures reveal murder victims in South Australia are usually in some sort of domestic relationship with their killer. But why does Adelaide's killer reputation persist? By any standards, Adelaide has had its share of disturbing murders. But Professor Rick Sarr from the University of South Australia said the reputation comes down to 3 key cases which have been wedged firmly in the public psyche. These long and lingering memories are based upon 3 very horrendous crimes, he said. The Truro murders, the Sowtow murders and the Von Im, or family murders. Let's recap those crimes for the uninitiated. There are also notorious unsolved disappearances in Adelaide, including the Beaumont children. Criminal lawyer Marie Shaw QC was part of the legal team for Bevan Von Im and one of the Sowtow accused, Mark Hayden. She has witnessed Adelaide's morbid curiosity with murder firsthand. Maybe it's Adelaide's apparent niceness and conservatism that make any darkness more apparent, Ms. Shaw said. The two that seem to fit. Brutal and bizarre murders make for eye-catching headlines, but Ms. Shaw believes South Australians are especially interested in crime. Reflecting on some of her more high-profile cases, Ms. Shaw described the community atmosphere and interest as suffocating. It was impossible to withstand. That's because it dominated the media, it dominated everything you can hear and see, she said. Ms. Shaw believed that kind of scrutiny made it difficult to get a balanced and fair trial.